So thank you, everyone. Again, I appreciate you all being here today. I want to thank the VA for calling and saying, hey, let's do this thing, and everybody for making it happen. Now, I have to confess, and I don't like confessing this, but this is the first hybrid I've done in a long while where we've done in-person and webinar. I'm a huge fan of webinar because I can control everything from one computer. So if there's technical, bear with me, forgive me, feel free to email, let me know. Now, we will have slide handouts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to email everyone and get those to you. So for those of you in the room, if you want the handouts, make sure the sign-in sheet has your email address that I can read. So if it's, you know, kindergarten quality, I can't guarantee I can read it. So make sure I can read it. Yeah, don't check. Make sure I can read your email, and make sure everybody gets the slides today. So just a couple points for housekeeping purposes. Because we have a dual room, any questions that we have here in the audience, we want to make sure that we're hearing online as well. And I'll be monitoring the Q&A online. For those of you attending virtually, please, if you have questions, by all means, let us know. You can type them into the Q&A box. If you don't want to type it, just click raise your hand. I can unmute you from this end. Believe it or not, I have the power. And we can make sure that we can hear you as well so that we can have a really good conversation. So we have Anna Urman and another lady who
Yeah, I'll introduce myself, make it easy. My name is Kimberly Osborne. I'm the acting executive director of VA's Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. Try saying that 10 times really fast. It's almost like you get out of breath just introducing who you are and what you do. But it is a pleasure to be here. I thank you all for making time to come meet with us today. We just came back from the 8A conference, regional conference down at the Marriott, and the VA is very serious about opportunities being available for small businesses of all socioeconomic categories. I know coming from the VA, a lot of people have the misunderstanding that because we're the VA that we only service VA or we only give contracts to veterans. That's not true. VA would not be able to meet its mission of serving veterans without the help of small businesses in every category. And so we're here today to this is a demonstration of our commitment to take advantage of every opportunity to make sure that there's opportunities for small businesses and to share with as many people as possible how to do business with the VA, no matter where you stand as a small business. So with that said, I want to introduce Anna Urman. She's our director of our Strategic Outreach and Communication Directorate. She is awesome. We stole her from the State Department and asked me if I'm sorry. I don't feel that, and I don't feel even a little bit bad about it. She's been doing great work. She jumped right in. You would think she's been here for 10 years because she really indoctrinated herself and found out as far as who to connect and who they need to talk to make sure that our small businesses are given the opportunities to participate in our contracting with at the VA. Just to say a little bit about it, I know she's going to get into more of it. We gave we prepared just under $13 billion in small business, with a billion with a B. With respect to our small businesses. So that's just to reinforce the fact that we are committed and that we look for opportunities in every way possible to make sure that the playing field is equal and that everybody has access, including our small business. So with that said, Anna, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Do you want to introduce Shayne right now as well, or should I jump in?
Well, give me 2 seconds. So real quick, let's see if I have, and I want to bring your slides up. So just to let everybody know, again, event hybrid, we'll do the APEX introduction less because if you guys have found the login and made your way here, you know enough, and we'll follow up with you later. We do want to meet the VA team, and I also wanted to let you know that Nalita Irvine from the SBA, she's a lender relationship specialist. And am I saying the last name? I always say it different. Irvine.
Yeah.
Is here as well, and she has a presentation for us as well. But we're going to go ahead. Do you mind going last? I didn't really even coordinate. I just kind of.
We definitely want to shout out Shayne, right?
Oh, absolutely. And then we'll just go into a Q&A. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring up Anna's presentation. So Shayne, if you want to introduce yourself, you are unmuted from my end. You just have to unmute yourself. Yeah, mic is yours.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, I am Shayne. I am the business liaison for NCO20. NCO20 covers Alaska, Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. So I'm more like the local VA rep, the person that your small businesses in your local area would want to reach out to. If you're having any issues or anything else with our contracting folks, I'm kind of like that mediator through that type issue. I also will search out people like the APEX folks and other people if we're looking for special needs that we have out there in the communities, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. If I don't have an answer to any of your questions today, I'll be more than happy to get back to you. All you have to do is email me. I'm usually get back to you within 24 hours or so. So again, I'm the small business liaison for NCO20, and I cover Alaska for sure. So, and that's just short and sweet. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those too.
Thanks, Shayne, and we have every intention of dragging him up here. He's promised. So sometime our program year, we'll get Shayne up here to visit us in person as well. But Anna, go ahead. The mic is all yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Before I jump into the presentation, Shayne, there is a company in the room that at yesterday's matchmaking said they're, well, not said, they told us about the work they do in abatement, and I saw a SAM notice for abatement, asbestos abatement in Idaho, so they'll probably be calling you. All right. So
Outstanding. I love it.
Excellent. So, Alan, you know who to talk to.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So the goal of today is to demystify VA a little bit. I was promised, Jody said she's going to send you the slides. So the goal isn't to get through the slides as fast as possible. I want to answer your questions. I want to make sure you guys understand what VA buys, how we buy, how to reach us. So feel free to interrupt. Those in the room, raise your hands. Those outside the room, speak up or let Jody know and she'll interrupt me. So I've been with VA for just over a year. And my job is, as outreach director, is to communicate, help industry understand, help small disadvantaged businesses understand how to work with VA. So I love what I do. I get to do this all over the country. And one really cool thing we started with Ms. Osborne's blessing is whenever we travel, not just to talk to the VA audience, but to engage with local APEX accelerators. So done Florida, Alaska is our second one, and we'll be in Ohio next month. And as a former PTAC director, this is very close to my heart, so I'm thrilled for these partnerships that we're forming. All right, so we'll talk about VA stuff as I mentioned. I do want to highlight the mission. We were just talking in the cab on the way here that our mission and the way to explain it is really easy. We serve veterans. So any kind of assistance that veterans receive, they usually start with the VA, and we try to do our best to serve them. And in alignment with the VA's mission, our office's mission, OSDBU, is to support veterans in their economic opportunities. So VA is known as Veterans First Agency. We have laws on the books that ensure that we prioritize service-disabled veteran-owned businesses in our acquisitions. And we're also the only federal agency that has veteran-owned small business set-asides. No other agency does. So that is a priority. The really cool thing about that is because service of veterans is the whole mission of the department, we're not fighting with our contracting officers and program officers and trying to convince them to award work to small business. Everybody understands that that's part of the mission. It's not just serving the veteran in the hospital, but it's also serving the veteran that is providing IT services or health services or plumbing supplies. All right, so our business lines. The VA has, if you can't read this, I'll try to read this out, but the three main administrations that the VA has is the Veterans Health Administration, Veterans Benefits Administration, and the National Cemetery Administration. And we also have a number of different staff offices and headquarters, different smaller program areas. The Veterans Business Administration is all the financial services, the pensions, the benefits, the loan guarantees. They provide economic development, transition services, veterans employment services as well. The Veterans Health Administration, that is our largest organization. That's over 1,100 hospitals, clinics, home care services, outpatient services, and all of the wraparound services to support the care of veterans throughout the country and also in some of the American territories. And some of them, many of them do routine caretaking, doctor's offices, and some of them are doing some pretty advanced research and development in brain surgery, in prosthetics, in cancer detection. We have a large population of customers, it's veterans and their families. We also have a large new segment. The highest growth for us is women veterans, which it's a significantly higher percentage of the veteran population. So some innovation happening as more women that are retiring or separating from the military are becoming customers of VA. So some advancements in women's care as well. So exciting to see that and really thrilled with that additional ability to innovate and to provide healthcare services. The National Cemetery Administration, it is our honor, it is a privilege to provide final resting place for veterans, for their families. There are many services beyond, the horizontal and the ground maintenance that goes into it. Some of them are very exacting because it is very important to be protective and to honor the memory of our veterans, to those who have served the country, that all of the marble, all of the bronze, all of the memorials have to be strictly abided by the tightest quality control. So any kind of chips, any kind of inaccuracies, those get thrown out or get sent back. So lots of opportunities. We try to work with small businesses that provide gravestones and provide the placards, but those have to be beyond fault. So that's a big opportunity and a very, very skilled, very craft focused opportunity. Also a lot of customer service there. And some interesting, because many national cemeteries are historic landmarks and national monuments. So think of it as kind of tourist sites, visitor sites. So all the naming and historical landmark and geographic information services and all of those marketing communications that go along with that. And we have the staff offices. Don't worry about the eye chart here. I'll name a couple of them, and I will not read you the next 3 slides, but I promise you that the explanations for those are on the next 3 slides. So here we have Office of Management, Office of Information Technology, Office of Small Disadvantaged Business, Utilization, whistleblower protection, Board of Veterans Appeals, where Ms. Osborne spent a number of years, Veterans Experience Office, so the customer experience, and you may hear about CX, UX, all the technology stuff. We have a whole office that reviews all the comments and all the customer care, and is continually working on improving that access to our facilities and to all of our services in person and online. As I promised, not reading this, but you have it to read at your leisure. All of the different small functions. And some of these programs are kind of unique and they have a very specific function. Office of Women's Veterans Office, Minority Veterans Office of Veterans Suicide Prevention. They have a unique niche and they have their own audiences and their own stakeholders within VA and also in the communities. We work with the veteran services organizations like American Legion, UFW, and other organizations as well, pretty closely. In fact, some of them assist us in providing case management and signing up veterans for different services at outreach events and community events, at county fairs, and lots of different offices and lots of different events outside of the VA buildings, and that really helps us serve our mission, and it helps veterans understand what they can receive from us, the benefits that they've earned, that they have access to, that they may not know that exists. We have also, I think, 12 mobile care vans. They're like mobile medical centers that go around the country, and they're able to do some on-the-spot medical care as well, which is really useful when you're reaching out to some difficult to access communities or populations that are in the rural or hard to reach places. Some other things that are not as common, but may be useful to small business owners. We have canteen services. So many of our hospitals, some of our headquarters offices have little stores where we are able to sell products, durable goods, the foodstuffs, some gift items. So some manufacturers, some small businesses are able to resell through those. We've got 6 giant warehouses around the country that are CMOPs, the Consolidated Mail Outpatient Pharmacies. Giant pharmacies with, you can't walk in, it's not like a Walgreens, but they do medical, pharmaceutical packing and shipping to the different hospitals and to veterans' homes as well. And a leasing program that helps us retain space and also sublet space that we have to community organizations, because our needs change based on demand. Oops. So based on what I said, pop quiz. What do you think VA buys?
Everything.
All right, that's good. Good answer. It's kind of cheating, but I'll take it.
There you go. Thanks.
And any specific things, especially as you're thinking about what you sell. What do you think?
Services.
I'm sorry?
Goods and services.
Goods, what kind of goods and services? There's no one.
Back to everything.
All right. All right. Fine.
Usually
Fine.
they can't print.
All right. If you name, how about if they name one specific thing?
One thing.
We're giving out goodies
How
here.
about construction services?
Yeah. Again, one of them.
That's why.
Yes. Lots of construction facilities management. All right. Good. I was just testing to see that you're awake.
So we have one question. Can more be stated about the EUL, or these vacant spaces that the VA leases?
Yes, so within the CFM, within the Office of Construction and Facilities Management, there is a leasing office, or Office of Leasing. And I will be able to provide a contact information for that. Okay, and actually the slide, I think that's a link, but if not, I'll be sure to connect you with that. We also do commercial leasing. So I try to look at our sources sought and RFIs on SAM, and I was looking this morning, and there were at least 3 different commercial leasing sources sought for spaces for clinics or sometimes for office space throughout the country. So quite a large geographical footprint, over 1,100 different facilities, and that's dynamic. All right. So before I talk about the stuff, the what we buy, I want to make sure that you understand how we buy, and that is probably the trickiest part about this whole presentation. Depending on what it is, some products and some services are bought nationwide through what we call category management or aggregated spend, right? If everybody needs to have the same security protocols on all of our computers when we log on, and that has to be managed enterprise-wide. We have large contracts for information technology. Some large contracts over $20 million for construction are managed centrally out of the Office of Construction and Facilities Management. Some products, some medical supplies and pharmaceuticals we buy centrally. Some services and some supplies are bought regionally. through the RPO, Regional Procurement Offices. And then a lot of the individual visit needs, individual Veterans Integrated Service Networks, we have 18 hospital networks called VISNs. They buy their own, so small construction projects under $20 million, their own staffing, their own supplies, a local HVAC and air purification and medical contract services, waste management, laundry services. It's quite a gamut of things. So those of you that said everything,
The pest control.
oh, the pest control, yes. Yes, next month on the 26th, 412 VA pest management officers are gathering in Charleston, South Carolina to learn about the newest bug control innovations. And we had an opportunity to partner with them. They had room. They had we have a free afternoon and room for 20 companies. We want to hear from pesticide companies and pest control technology companies. So we were able, our office found 12. We couldn't find 20, but we found 12 that are going there to talk to our pest management professionals. I had to design some of the handouts for that. So it's not my favorite. I like the mice. I don't like the crawlies. Anyway, thank you for that memory. All right. Transportation and logistics. I'm just naming a couple just to explain it further. Transportation is local. Sometimes it's ambulances, sometimes it's ride share kind of services, scheduled rides from patients' homes to hospitals or from the central hospital to a regional clinic. I've seen a couple of fixed wing kind of life support helicopters, but not too much of that. Security, physical security in hospitals, IT security, gunshot detection services, industrial cleaning that goes with the testing, which we want to talk about, office management, training, leadership development, anything to keep an office running, we bought. Sometimes centrally, sometimes for the whole organization, and sometimes for a very specific office that has unique needs, leadership change, or personnel assistance needs. So questions about what, do you have any questions about what you think we might buy but aren't sure? All right.
Something that we could do at the end, after Nalita's presentation, we can get everybody to introduce themselves too and get an idea of who's on deck, because I believe we'll have enough time. So that'll help kind of share, what businesses are in the room.
Yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned, we buy things, services, as well as products at different levels of the organization. These are our national organizations. They're called lovingly SAC, NAC, and TAC. Strategic, I did not come up with this. Strategic Acquisition Center, SAC, buys, think of it as nationwide services or federated services. So if everybody needs the same service, you go there, like human resources, for example. National Acquisition Center, that's for products. If everybody needs the same kind of pen or everybody needs Tylenol, the NAC does that. And the TAC is technology. If you are interested in selling technology to VA, the Department Office of Information and Technology is having an industry day. They're calling it Advanced Planning Brief to Industry, APBI. That's going to be it's hybrid. It's going to be in Virginia on June 26th and also online. And I could share a link to that. So for IT, if you want to listen to what kind of IT we buy, major kind of forecast briefing, June 26th. In the morning Eastern Standard Time. So I've been on Alaska time for a couple of days. So I had to get up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. You'll have to do the same. Hopefully they'll record it and then, you could catch up on sleep and listen to it a little later. And then for different services, different specific services, there are other shared service buying organizations. General Logistics Center, for example, buys a lot of the pharmaceuticals for the country. If you're doing innovation, VA does some. We have pockets of innovation, mostly related to medical technology and prosthetics and PTSD, and kind of addressing the innovation in medicine to help veterans returning from the field. So that's kind of our focus. We are not a big R&D department. We don't have OTAs. We don't have SBIR or CPR. Translate that. We don't have small business innovative research, small business tech transfer research, or other transaction authority, unlike DoD and NASA. So our R&D is somewhat limited, but it does exist. We have an Office of Innovation and Research, and we do some grants, not a lot of grants to industry, again, not a lot of research grants, but there are some grant opportunities for local communities to, again, to serve veterans. Spending, so these are, I don't like talking about big numbers to industry because that doesn't mean anything to you, right? It's like, okay, VBA buys a lot of stuff, but where's your individual construction money? It's like right here. So, but we have a lot of money to spend. We are the largest civilian agency in terms of direct spend. This may be a little bit more useful. So there's a lot of colors, so don't worry, I'll explain what this is. So these colors don't mean anything, I just want you to see kind of segregated. And the NAICS codes are on the right. There we go. Most importantly, these are our top NAICS codes in 2023 by market share. And I have color coded them, so you'll see the legend on the bottom. The pink ones are medical, the blue ones are technology, yellow is construction, and the white is professional services. So as you see, out of the top 10 spending NAICS codes, more than half is medical, and that is services as well as medical products. And then technology and construction come in.
And yeah, while you're on this screen, so we have a question come in. It says, I'm a manufacturer of food products such as pancake mixes, frozen waffles, and sauces like salad dressing, barbecue sauce. Who would I talk to, or where would I find information? Hang in there a second, Derek. I gotta make my little screen bigger. The mouse is not cooperating. Find information along those slides. Sorry, there we go. Opportunities, food-related opportunities.
All right, so the first thing I would recommend is go follow the dollars. So look at USAspending.gov or look on SAM for past awards. I believe those are purchased at the hospital at the visit level because hospital cafeterias have to feed people. There may be some aggregated buys, but I don't think so because those are unique needs. There may be some. There may be vehicles for that, so GSA scheduled or something like that. But following the dollars would probably be best. And I will share my contact information. So if any of the data or any resources you're looking to find, you can find on your own. The feedback first, and then you come back. Or anytime. Sorry.
I know I still think
That's hard. All right, so so these are our top 10, but the reason that I'm not going down the list to very many others is it represents about 80% of total VA spend. So this is where our money goes. And there's a lot more NAICS codes with vastly diminishing sizes of spend. 24 year to date, the story is about the same. We spend a lot of medical supplies, information technology, and construction. And again, this year to date, also around 78–80%. We, like every other agency, spend a lot of our money towards the end of the year, especially because our budgets come in late, but it's pretty predictable. And these don't change over the years. They may kind of shift around among the top 10, depending on if there's a big hospital being built or something urgent that comes out, change of law that requires us to shift the business system. But they tend to stay generally within the same trajectory. Geography. So I alluded to the VISMs, Veterans Integrated Service Networks. So I have a little bit of a clue here, and a little bit more complicated. And this is where I'm looking up, but I'm hoping Shayne could help. So each VISM, so the number is 23, but we erased some, so there's 18. If you count all the circles, there's 18, but some of them are different numbers. And each of these VISMs has an NCO. So each Veterans Integrated Service Network has a network contracting office. Essentially, each one of these little circular things has its own contracting office, and each of those contracting offices has a small business liaison. Shayne, who you've heard from, and hopefully will be around to answer some of the questions later. He is the small business liaison for this region. So that's NCO 20. It's all the yellow states up there. Also, our procurement, our central procurement organizations like the Office of Information Technology, the Veterans Benefits Administration, National Cemetery Administration, and Office of Construction and Facilities Management have their own small business liaisons. The role of those SBLs is they're the first person tasked with market research, identifying small businesses, answering small businesses questions in their geography. And it doesn't really matter where the small business comes from. They're tasked with the small business research for where they're buying. So if you're in business 17, you're buying something for Texas. If somebody wants to sell to Texas, we'll go to that person. So don't go to where you are, go to where the hospital is and where the need is, because they're the ones that are going to know the requirement the best. Spending, so the darker the state, the more money is spent there by VA. And you'll see this, so this is cumulative, 2021 to the present. It's usually the bigger, the more populated states. Minnesota was kind of surprising. Perhaps a large population of veterans. I guess that's why it's darker than its surrounding states. And let's see. And for professional services for technology, if you are in those industries, we do use contracting vehicles. Some are VA specific, and some are government-wide acquisition contracts, or GWACs, or IDIQs. T4NG is our biggest IT contract. It is close to its expiration. We have made awards on T4NG2, but there are some protests, so that hasn't been, there's no task orders under that one yet, but there's an expectation that those will be resolved and work will start going through T4NG2. In addition to technology, some of the other ones I want to bring your attention to, we've got HCAT, that's human resources. So we buy through, and that's a GSA schedule as well. And then OASIS, a GSA federal supply schedule or multiple award schedules, and the rest are pretty much technology. With the exception of furniture, that's kind of an odd one out. Small business goals. So I want to share. So this is from the SBA scorecard, and when you get the slides, you could click on the yellow box and you'll get the full scorecard. So these are just the highlights. We have look at the blue ones. This is the achievement. The goal is set by negotiating with the SBA towards federal goals. The blue one is what we have actually achieved. So this is FY23. We met our small business goals, our small disadvantaged business goals, service disabled veteran goal, and hub zone. We're so close. Women owned, we're having challenges there. So looking for women owned small businesses that could provide services and products to the VA. Subcontracting, that's a strangely sadder story. You think subcontracting is easier, and in fact, it is easier, but either we're not doing a good job or we're not holding our primes feet to the fire as much, but certainly a lot of opportunity to improve our subcontracting numbers. There was a GAO report that recommended that several agencies, VA included, step up the review of subcontracts to make sure that the primes aren't just saying that, yeah, we tried, we really couldn't find any, but really make sure that it's on us, the onus is on federal agencies to make sure that the prime contractors' good faith efforts are really in good faith. And we are working on that. We're doing education seminars with them, business opportunity sessions. We are hosting one-on-one small business interview sessions with prime contractors. Those are all free to everybody. They're virtual, easy access, and we are strongly encouraging our primes to meet their small business goals. And if they're not doing so and you're having trouble, again, send me a note. Small business goals. So this is I don't know. I don't love talking about it because it's in the aggregate, right? Our decisions are bottom up. We look at every single opportunity, every requirement over the simplified acquisition threshold, and the small business liaison at the local office with the contracting officer, they put together a small business review document. It goes to our office for checking the homework and make sure that we made maximum practicable opportunity to small businesses. So these aggregate numbers, the goals are helping us, but our decisions are made each requirement at a time. So we're trying to make sure that if there's an opportunity to set something aside, we do that. So it's not like, oh, we're at 17%, forget small businesses for the rest of the year. We look at every single acquisition. And sometimes we get creative with them. It just happened that people were out of office and we help each other out. We're a small team. So I jumped in on a small business review, and it was for a product, and non-manufacturer rule applied. So you couldn't resell a large company's product. And a veteran-owned small business responded to the RFI, and they were reselling a large company's product. And a woman-owned small business submitted a response, and they were a manufacturer. So one veteran-owned that doesn't fit the manufacturer role, one woman-owned. So the contracting officer logically suggested, let's set it aside for small business and see if we get any more. I recommended, why don't we do a sole source to women-owned, because it's a socioeconomic category that's a higher priority than total small business, and we're guaranteed to help us with that lowest grade we got, which is women-owned. Turns out that contracting office was already familiar with that women-owned small business. They've done work with them. They trusted them. So it was actually simple once you bring it down to brass tacks to award that contract to a woman-owned small business. It's not often that we are able to do that on our own. We do ask small businesses to not only respond to RFIs and sources sought, but let us know when you think that something isn't going the right way, or that there's truly an opportunity to set something aside to award to a small business that maybe isn't clear cut. Because we'll fight for you, but we need you to be in that fight with us. And I am happy to have those wins. That was like a $600,000 acquisition. So it's not a lot in the $40 billion, but it's a lot for that small business, and every single dollar counts when we're trying to get to these goals. So I'll leave you with a couple of resources. Last year, the VA piloted a program called Pathfinder. It's our own market research database. So you guys familiar with DSBS? I'm glad the APEX folks are not. I was worried there. All right. So dynamic small business search, you put in your capabilities and think of it like a white pages. This is our own version. So companies could submit capabilities, and you could also submit innovative ideas. When a VA is doing market research, our offices are looking at Pathfinder, just looking to see who is there. Doesn't guarantee you'll get a call, but think of it as another white pages. If you're in there, you have a higher chance. We're kind of trying to advocate for Pathfinder of both sides. We want industry, small businesses to put good stuff in there, because then we could tell our acquisition folks, go look in Pathfinder. There are great small businesses in there. But I also know that I don't want to waste your time. So we are advocating that our acquisitions colleagues go look at Pathfinder and find these small businesses. So you help us, and I promise we're working on the other side as well. Pathfinder.va.gov is the site. I'm not going to spend time on my favorite soapbox of RFIs and sources sought. We could do that at another time, I promise. In fact, I have LinkedIn articles on that. the different folks at VA, I'll leave that to Q&A if you want to talk about how to reach or how to strategize to access the different VA points of contact. So the small business liaisons that I mentioned, same slide as before with a link. So a link to all the small business liaisons, their email addresses and their phone numbers are here. It's also on our website. Oh, that's the industry day I was talking about. So that's a George Mason. My staff is amazing. They read my mind.
We'll be there, right?
We will be there, yes. I have to be in 2 places that day, but you're speaking at that.
Yeah.
You'll be there. We are small and mighty. There's another conference in DC today, and about half our staff are there. We got great pictures. And we're here, so this is wonderful. Some initiatives here. We are working on our forecast. We partnered with or sought the help of a GSA because they have a fantastic portal, fantastic forecast application. So we're in the process of getting our procurement forecast items out of the heads of our programs and into this system so that small businesses could access it. It's a pretty big undertaking. The Veterans Health Administration has something like 25,000 items a year that they buy, or services and products. So it's a lot of work, and they haven't been forced to do it before. So we're walking them through the process. That's improving. There's about 225 things in there right now. We're working on improving legislation that will help us with our women-owned small business goals. When the law passed that enshrined the VA Rule of 2, the order of precedence for service-disabled veteran-owned and veteran-owned, so that's SDVOSB is Tier 1, veteran-owned is Tier 2, HUBZone and 8A is Tier 3, and women-owned is Tier 4, because at the time the women-owned small business was a self-certification, so it wasn't on par with the other programs. Well, we're stuck in that. So there's a bill in the Veteran Services.
So it was in the president's budget.
Yes.
It was scheduled for hearing back in April, based on events that overtook that hearing taking place. That hearing was canceled. However, I got an email today regarding this, not passed yet, but for it to continue on. So we're meeting with our Office of Congressional Legislative Affairs to continue to promote that. We have Senator Peters, who's a proponent of this initiative. So cross our fingers, that'll give opportunities and for people of another socioeconomic group to be able to compete. One of the things I want to plug too is if you guys are in multiple socioeconomic class, get certified in all of them. Get as many options available so that you can be in a position to be competitive. And give the acquisition and contracting officers many different options as it pertains to selection.
So here's a good question just to throw in. How does being part of the Military Spouse Employment Partnership impact our ability for VA contracts?
So that is not one of our recognized socioeconomic categories because those are in the FAR and in statute, in the Code of Federal Regulations. However, each state treats veteran ownership and veteran spouse ownership differently, so they may be able to qualify for different state and local contract set aside, but not currently federal.
Okay. Thank you. Good question.
Other items here. I'll mention, I talked about subcontracting plan oversight. We're working on checking people's homework, a lot of homework. Procurement Innovation Lab. So in addition to doing our outreach and helping industry understand VA, we're also redoubling our efforts with our acquisition colleagues to teach acquisition innovation, especially as it pertains to small businesses, to the contracting offices and contracting specialists. The contracting officers by profession, by vocation, are very risk averse, and they are overburdened. There's fewer and fewer of them in federal service, and they may not be they may not have the innovative paths to contract at their fingertips. So we're making it easier for them. We are starting this acquisition lab, acquisition innovation lab, which was actually an executive order last year. So every agency is thinking about that. And the first thing that we're tackling with our innovation lab is training on small business access, because it'll make their job easier. Small business awards, fewer hoops to jump through, fewer obstacles from our office for certain, and it certainly helps meet the department's mission. The last initiative I'll talk about in the next page a little bit, and that is our outreach. And we're doing a lot of virtual sessions in training, in events and partnerships with industry. We also record our trainings and we post them on our YouTube channel. So I love market research. I love teaching classes on federal data mining. So you'll hear from me, but also from people that talk about compliance and preparing for solicitations and avoiding protests and lots of different topics. We really expanded some advanced trainings into our curriculum. And you could sign up for the trainings on our website, and you could also go to YouTube channel and watch them, when you're, I don't know, mowing the lawn. I listen to government contracting podcasts when I'm mowing the lawn. My husband makes fun of me for that, but I don't care. And there are so many government contracting podcasts. There's also a pretty big LinkedIn community of govies and industry. If you use the hashtag GovCon, you'll be surprised what you find. Hopefully not terribly surprised, but we have fun. It's a good group of people. This email address, OSDBU Stratcom, that's myself and my team of 3 mighty analysts. We review capability statements. We help answer questions. We find links and people that you can't find yourself. And we'll be glad to work with you and help you demystify VA and meet our small business goals. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, claps. One last question since the Q&A, and then we're going to turn it over to Nalita. Are there specific VA contracts or opportunities that are exclusively available to Ability One distributors?
So yes, Ability One is a mandatory source. Ability One is a mandatory source for some products and services. So those are not competitive contracts. If you look at FOD Part 10, there's several steps. Agency inventory, mandatory sources like prison industries and Ability One, those get consulted before it could be competed. So by the time it makes it out to competition, we've determined it's not Ability One.
Okay, so Remy I started asking the question when we were still clapping. So what she was answering is about opportunities exclusively available to Ability One distributors. And Rosita, that's something you and I can follow up with too, and then we can back it up. And then Remy, thank you so much for letting us know that I wasn't being patient with asking the question until the room noise died down. So that was my fault. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go ahead.
Was there any questions here? Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, so for those of you online, give me 2 minutes. And let me go ahead and quick switch slides, and we'll bring Nalita up. Oh, I'm trying to do it on my computer instead of on this computer. I'm like, why isn't this working? For those of you online, I had too many keyboards. And Nalita, do you want me to do the slide run for you, or do you want to just move along?
I think it would be nice, unless it's that easy that I can.
Yep, you can just either down or next, and we can turn it like we did here.
Down, okay.
Yeah, and then if you just decide you don't want to mess with the
Down,
keyboard,
right, down.
down or next, either one of those two buttons work.
Okay, perfect, great. Well, my name is Nalita Urman, and I am a lender relations specialist with the Small Business Administration here in the Alaska District Office. And I've been with SBA for 18 years now, so it's all good. Dealing with a lot of the small businesses, helping them. The area where I specialize in is lending. I coordinate the SBA Loan Guarantee Program here in the state of Alaska. So I am gonna go, and there's a lot of good information here, and I know I have like 10, 15 minutes to go through, but you're gonna get a copy of the PowerPoint. There's a lot of links there. You are more than welcome to ask me for my business card. I have some business card there in the back. And you're more than welcome to call and ask for, if you have any questions, okay? Let's see. One way the Small Business Administration helps small businesses is with resources to start or grow your business. And how we do that, we do it through our partners, such as the Small Business Development Center. The Small Business Development Center, you are here in their location right now. We also have another resource partner that is called PTAC, not anymore. Of course, they are APEX Accelerators, and I need to actually change that because I couldn't find the logo.
Oh, sorry about that. It's a trip. We're still, yeah.
Yeah, you're still. But they also are our resource partners. Of course, we have BVAC, and stands for Veterans Business, Small Business Outreach Center, and we have a dedicated staff here through a company that is called Business Impact Northwest, and they are the ones that provide technical assistance to small businesses, especially for our veteran community. You have the contact information there, emails and website addresses. Another resource partner that. When I say resource partner, that means that what SBA does is we provide annual grants to this organization so they can provide technical assistance, counseling, and mentoring to small businesses. Another one here in the state of Alaska is the Women Business Center, and they are actually also through Business Impact Northwest. They have been here in the state for a couple of years now. Their main office is located in Seattle, Washington, but they do have counselors here in the state. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the other way the Small Business Administration helps small businesses, and is with access to capital. And the one that I'm gonna expand a little bit today is on the SBA-backed loans, the SBA Loan Guarantee Program. On top of that, we also have the private investors and the small business the small business investment company program. And I'm not going to expand on that, but you have the links there if you want to get a little bit more of information. Please feel free to, when you get the PowerPoint, to click there on those links, and it will take you to our website that has a lot of good information about those programs. Another one is research and development awarded funds. Through the Small Business Innovative and Research Program and the Small Business Technology and Transfer. You mentioned that earlier, Technology and Transfer Program. Another program that is very well used also for by small businesses is our Surety Bond Guarantee Program. If you are looking into bidding for a contract, or you want a surety bond for performance, payment, maintenance, you can actually apply for a surety bond through a surety bond company, or sometimes the companies, insurance companies will also be the ones that provide that type of service. For each government and private sector contract, you can get a surety bond up to $9 million. And for each direct federal contract, the limit is $14 million. If you want to get more information about the surety bond companies and insurance companies that can provide you with that type of service, you can go to sba.gov/Office of Surety Guarantee, and you can get more information there. We also have a contact Our underwriting marketing specialist is Tamara Murray, and she is out of the Seattle district office. You can always contact her, and she can give you more information about the surety bond guarantee. More information, you can get it right here at the Seattle Underwriting Center. There's also other contact information there, so you can call and connect with our specialist. You're more than welcome to call us here at our district office. We will be more than welcome to give you an overview of how the surety bond program works. Okay, so SBA loan programs, and this is my kind of expertise, I would say. But what we do have is three main programs with SBA. And this is to have for small businesses to have access to capital. One, the main one is, of course, the 7A loan program. And I don't know if you have actually used the program in the past for your companies, but if not, that's our main program. On top of that, we have the 504 loan program and the micro lending program. Under the 7A program, we have other programs that you do not need to know all of them, because once you meet with your lender, they are the ones that are going to decide what type of program actually fits you the best for your particular business project. But under the 7A, we have the Community Advantage Loans, Small Business Lending Company Program, the SBA Express. Under the SBA Express, you can also get not only term loans, but also line of credit up to $500,000. And we have export loans. You are exporting overseas, and that includes Canada and Mexico. You can take advantage of those export loans. They will offer the lender a 90% guarantee. Then we have the cap lines, line of credit up to $5 million. And we have four of them. We have builders cap lines, we have seasonal cap lines, working capital cap line, and I am forgetting one, contract. As a matter of fact, that's, since most of you are in the contracting business, that would probably be very helpful to know. And I'm more than welcome to provide you more information about that. Okay, so how this SBA loan guarantee works. You work with a lender of your choice, and I do have a list of participating lenders here in the state of Alaska. Nationwide, we have over 2,500 lenders that participate in our program, and I will provide you with a list so you can share with the group. But you work with a lender of your choice. I usually recommend the public to connect with your local lender and see if they would be willing to work with you on your business project. And what is once the lender decides that, first of all, you cannot qualify for their commercial loans because you don't meet the bank's criteria, the next step it would be for the lender to take a look at their toolbox and see what other programs are available out there. So, they can offer that to you. And one of them could be the SBA loan. And so once the lender determines that, you qualify for the SBA loan, the next step it would be for the lender to collect paperwork, loan application for you. The lender will also complete some paperwork, submit the information to SBA. We have a dedicated loan processing center in Sacramento, California, where everything is done. I mean, we have just a dedicated group of loan officers that are reviewing and analyzing those loan packages. And once the SBA says, well, pretty much we have all the documentation, we have the recommendation from the lender, SBA will connect back with the lender and let them know everything is good, you're approved, and you get your loan, and the lender will close and disperse the loan. And the guarantee is, when SBA say yes to the lender, that's where SBA say, yes, we're going to back up this loan. We're going to offer you our guarantee. We're going to minimize your risk because things can happen. We can offer, our guarantee can go from 50 to as much as 90% guarantee. And that is based on the type of loan program that the lender is going to select for your project. And when I say guarantee, that means that for A or B reason, if you are unable to repay your debt and your loan goes on default, that's where SBA is going to come into play and honor that guarantee to the lender. You're still liable though for any losses, okay? Okay, so under this program, the 7A, you can borrow as much as $5 million. That's the maximum loan amount that you can get for an SBA. If you pay off the $5 million, you can get another $5 million. It's minimum loan amounts for what I see here in the state of Alaska, $10,000, and most of the time line of credit. Average loan amount here in the state of Alaska, $350,000, $400,000. We have competitive loan terms. We can offer you 7 to 10 years for working capital and equipment, and 25 years for commercial real estate and equipment. Commercial real estate. If you are looking at building a new facility, it would actually be 25 years plus construction time. We can offer you a line of credit for loans that are $50,000 or less. This year, fiscal year 2024, we are telling the lenders it can be an unsecured loan. There's no need for collateral. And there's also a waiving of the guarantee fee that SBA usually charges the borrower for guaranteeing the loan. And it's a one-time fee. It's financed with a loan. You don't have to come up with the money up front. But right now, we have for loans that are $50,000 or less, there's no need for collateral. And that guarantee fee is waived. Eligible type of businesses, you have to be operating for business, for profit, located in the U.S. You have to be a small size based on the size requirement. You have to demonstrate a need for desired credit. You cannot get credit elsewhere. The banks are turning you down. You do not have the money of your own. And so the only way that you can actually get access to capital to start or grow your business, it would be through an SBA loan. And that's how flexible we are. That's the reason the lenders will use our program. Owners must be of good character and demonstrate repayment ability. Eligible uses of SBA loans, or ineligible uses of SBA loans. You cannot use the SBA loans to, benefit an associate. If you want to pay your past due taxes, you cannot do that with an SBA loan. You cannot refinance a reasonable loan or debt. If you have good interest rates on a debt, good terms, the lender has to demonstrate that by refinancing your existing business debt, they're going to be improving your cash flow by at least 10%. Recently, it has some rules have changed where you can. In the past, you needed to buy if you wanted to buy an existing business, it had to actually be 100%, but not anymore. If you have an existing business and you just want to buy 20% of that business, 5% of that business, you can do that. And you can use an SBA loan for that purpose. Not eligible for SBA financing. There's a list there of type of businesses that cannot actually be financed with an SBA loan.
Go ahead, go back. I know, right?
Yep. Perfect. There's one here probably I want to mention that marijuana businesses are not approved for SBA financing, but hemp is. There was an act that was passed in 2018 where now they are allowing producers and also those retail stores that sell hemp in the form of supplements or clothing for whatever they can actually make clothes, with hemp. So those type of businesses can be financed, or they can finance business projects with an SBA loan. Okay. Interest rates are a little high right now because it's a combination of prime rate with an SBA spread. The prime rate right now is 8.75%. I know it's high, plus the SBA spread. So, and it's also, of course, based on the loan amount. The higher the loan amount, the spread is going to be less. We can offer you variable rates and also fixed rates. And you can also negotiate that with your lender. The lender cannot go higher than what is established by SBA. they can go lower than what is established by SBA. And right now, another benefit that we have with this program is for loans that are $1 million or less. That guarantee fee that I talked to you about, that guarantee fee is going to be waived. And it's also beneficial for the lender because the lender doesn't have to pay an annual servicing fee that they usually SBA will charge for those SBA loans. 504 loans. This is another great program that is very well used here in the state of Alaska. And it works a little different than the 7A. If you have a business project, 50% of your project will be financed by a lender, could be a bank or a credit union. And then 40% will be financed by a community development company. Here in the state of Alaska, we have the presence of Evergreen Business Capital. And they are the ones that they actually do, I would say 99.9% of our 504 loans. And this is just an example of how the program works. The owner had to come out with a 10% cash injection or down payment. This is a typical example for an existing business. What SBA will do with this program is that we are actually going to we're going to guarantee that 40%, 100% of that is going to have an SBA guarantee in case of a default. Okay. What is nice about this program also is that we can offer you a fixed rate on that 40%. And last time I remember seeing that it was 6.5% for a 20-year loan, 20-year term loan. But this one is more like minimum project amount is $100,000. This is the 504 is definitely for an existing business that it that it's looking into expanding, maybe to purchase commercial real estate or heavy type equipment and machinery. So that would be one way of doing it. That doesn't mean that if it is a startup business that they can also have access to the 504, but they have to have all their ducks in a row and have a really good business plan in order to qualify. The lender match, that's a program that SBA has created in order to connect borrowers with lenders. And you can go to sba.gov/lender match, and you will be able to provide information and then connect with not only lenders here from the state, but lenders out there in the lower 48. This is our loan volume 2023 for, this is just for Alaska, by the way. Nationwide, we are in the billions and thousands of SBA loans, but definitely we want to increase those numbers. As you can see, our top SBA lenders right there on the top. And we have also lenders from out of the state. We have like 20, 22 sometimes, if no more, lenders from out of the state that make one or two loans, but they're making loans here. As I said, I usually recommend the public to connect with the lenders first, their current bank. Worst case scenario, check with other local lenders. If they're not willing to help you, check the one from out of state. STEP grant. If you are selling overseas, if you're selling products or services overseas, you can actually take advantage of this SBA STEP grant. STEP stands for State Trade Expansion Program. And it's actually managed by the state of Alaska Department of Commerce. You have their contact information for Victoria there, and the website address and her email and phone number. And if you are interested in getting more information about this grant, up to $10,000 that you can get on this type of grant. If you are looking maybe to attending a trade show someplace in the lower 48 or overseas, you can actually check that grant and see if you qualify. Okay, there's a little bit more information about the grant there. What does the government buy?
Everything.
Exactly, everything from paper clips to medicine and so forth. So just briefly, this is not my forte here, but we do have another way that the SBA can help you with your business is if you have a service or a product that you think that the federal government would be interested in buying, we have government contracting programs. And one of them, our most popular, I would say, especially here in the state of Alaska, we have over 200 firms that are participate, are certified as an AA company. And so, of course, you have to meet certain requirements in order to qualify for that 8A program. I listed the main ones there, and there's a website that you can go for more information. Another government contracting program is our Small Disadvantaged Business Program website. In case you want to get more information, you can always call our district office. We have dedicated business opportunity specialists that can give you more information about these programs. Another one is the women-owned small business. Certain requirements that you need to meet in order to qualify. Service disabled veteran-owned small businesses. There's also certification for that program. If you are interested, we can provide you with more information. Hub Zone, if you have a business that is located in a rural area, you can actually qualify for the Hub Zone program. And what the federal government does, they set aside certain amount of money, every year for these programs. And I believe you had a slide where you had the percentages. So, the federal agency, they have to meet those goals. And one of them, of course, is the Hub Zone program. And with that, that's my contact information. And we have any questions?
Not online. Oh, we do. Okay, let me, Remy, I unmuted you. So unmute yourself, and then the mic is yours. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Remy. Okay, mic is yours. Ask your question.
Hi, I'm Remy. I'm in Soldotna. So the phrasing you used was that less than 100% is allowed for a 7A business purchase. What is the percentage of collateral required, or is that situational?
Well, one thing with the SBA loan program is we are not a collateral-based program. Okay, we require the lender to secure the loan as much as possible. If there is collateral, enough collateral to secure the loan, please, lender, use it. Because a loan is a loan, and we need to secure the loan in case of a default. But that is something that you will work with your lender regarding the collateral. You're going to have to put everything on the table and say, this is lender, this is what I have. If you do not have enough collateral or assets in your business, they're going to be looking at your personal assets, okay? Let's say, for example, if you have equity in your house, if you have 25% or more equity in your house, the lender can entertain the idea of using that as, to secure the loan, the SBA loan. But I would say connect with your lender and discuss that collateral, because we are flexible and the lender knows that.
Can I add to that, Nolita?
Sure.
So you heard Nolita mentioning all the resource partners for the Small Business Development Center, the Women's Business Center, and BBOC, depending on if you're a veteran or woman-owned business. The SBDC has worked with everyone. But if you have questions of which way the financing should go, reach out to these resource partners, sign up as clients, and have that discussion with them and let them help you lay out the pathing and get all of your ducks in a row, as we mentioned. It's so that when you are meeting with the lender, you're in your best prepared position.
Exactly. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And those resource partners are, as you have probably used their services in the past, when you're meeting one-on-one with them, with their business counselors, it's free and it's confidential. And you're taking some of their workshops and seminars. Sometimes sometimes they are free, or sometimes they will charge a very, very reasonable fee just to cover, any kind of expenses due to the type of event that they're providing. But yeah, absolutely take advantage of those resources, because they're available to help you succeed. So.
Thank you, Nolita. Any questions in the room? Any questions for BA? Well, what I'd like to do And you notice I cut you off, so if you have questions, you might have to give it a second because I'm taking over now. I'd really like for everyone to kind of introduce themselves because you've got to meet your presenters. So it's really nice for the presenters to know who's in the room. So we have two people that hung through to the very end online. So I'm going to start with them first. And then we're going to go ahead and just who's in the room. So Remy, I haven't muted you yet. So if you still want to unmute yourself and introduce yourself and your company.
My name is Remy. I'm in Soldotna. I'm the administrator for Northern Pacific Specialty Construction.
And what kind of construction projects do you guys do?
Residential and commercial. We do ground up and renovation.
Perfect. Thank you, Remy. Rosita, I've unmuted you. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oops, hang on. Okay, now you just need to unmute yourself, Rosita. You there, Rosita? Invite organizer. Okay, so Rosita, if you just want to unmute and introduce yourself, and I'll just keep an eye out for your mic just in case you're having technical, as we're playing that tug of war, me muting, unmuting. So we'll come back to Rosita. So let's go ahead and just start in the room and use your parent voice. Let's get the speaker so everybody gets to know. Yeah, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Mike Daniels. I work for the SBDs, for the Anchorage office of the SBDC. I'm a business advisor, and I really appreciate the information here, and hopefully it'll help my clients down the road.
We'll go right next.
I'm Alan Hansen from Alaska APEX for environmental remediation contractors. So we do asbestos, lead, and PCB abatement. And John and I are partners.
So John, you still have to introduce yourself. Even if
I'm John Anderson, Alaska abatement. I'm with Alan.
So you're going to pick on everybody. We're going to do it fairly. Ginny.
I am Ginny Grabowski. I am a business advisor with the Anchorage Small Business Development Project.
Mike Gould, owner and president of Excel Construction. We're a services table that owns small business, commercial general construction, operating in South Central Alaska on the road system primarily. We pretty much do it all.
Craig Bonholt with Alaska APEX Accelerator. So anything you heard here today, if you need help, you just come see me.
Well, of course, you know me now. Rita Urban, I am Vendor Relations Specialist at Small Business Administration.
And I'm Carolyn Pratt with the APEX Accelerator, and you're welcome to reach out to any of us, as Craig mentioned, for questions or assistance with whatever aspect of contracting you might be looking at.
Kobe Sims, GDM, Architects and Engineers.
So what was the business name again?
GDM.
GD.
Gerald D. Myers, part of the company in 74.
Nice. Thank you.
Yvette Maldonado, marketing specialist for GDM.
Welcome.
My name's Joel Wheeler from Wheeler General Contracting here in Anchorage. We're a small general contracting operation. We do everything from form to finish, including fabricating cabinets. And we've had a 504 loan, and it was very beneficial to us. And this is Jackie Gillespie in the office, but continues to say one piece.
My name's Jackie, and I work for Wheeler General Contracting. I do accounting and administrative duties, all administrator, office manager, and I track all things.
General right on.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Oh, hi. Can you guys hear me now?
We can. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you. So my name is Rosita Johnson, and I work for ASPE Federal Services. We are based in Anchorage, Alaska. We are certified as WOSB, with the rest of the owners being veterans. We provide warehousing and logistics services, and we are Ability One certified distributor.
Thank you. So, any closing comments or any other questions anybody wants to ask? We have a couple minutes left. I know it's been a long day. But one thing I'd like to recommend for you guys is feel free, if you have your capability statements ready to go, get those into me and I will be happy to forward those on to Anna and to the VA team. So, oh, Shayne, gosh, do you want to have a closing comment? We kind of let you talk at the beginning, but would you like to make any comments about receiving capability statements or working with you through for Vision 20? Sorry,
Yeah,
catching it.
absolutely. And again, I'm the conduit here for the interaction with the VA, the local conduit for you. So please, I think you can get my email address from Jody. Feel free to email me with any questions or anything else like that. I'll review your capability statements. I'll help you understand how our contracting people are actually searching for the work and how they're getting those solicitations out there. And again, I like to see small businesses do very well and work with the VA. So I'm trying to get the VA red tape out of the way and make it a little bit easier for the small businesses to get some of that work. So
Wonderful. Thanks, Shayne.
Shayne, are there any market research efforts or any opportunities right now that you're looking for small businesses on?
Well, currently, I mean, I know some, I looked at some numbers. I know currently Alaska has, this fiscal year is spent, we've obligated about $5.9 million just in the Alaska region. I know we've spent that on various different things. We do have some A&E and construction projects that are out there. I don't have those pulled up right at the top of my head. I am a former contracting officer. I came from construction and A&E contracting, so I still have it in with those folks. I still communicate with them quite a bit. So for all those A&E construction folks, it's a special place in my heart for it. So feel free to ask me anything on those. All the services and goods types things, I'm well versed in that as well, because that was part of what I did as well before I took this role as the SBL. So
thank you, Shayne. And we are planning more events with the VA this fall and winter, just to let you guys know. Shayne and I have been talking. He's been fabulous to work with since he reached out and introduced himself. So, and we stay connected as well. So we will be having more events. We don't have anything specifically planned yet, but we hope to have more industry specific, if there's like facility needs or a pain point for the VA in this vision. So you can remember the map, you know, it's showing that yellow, that northwest region. Again, we hope to be able to assist the VA with that as well. So if you guys have questions on that, feel free to reach out to the Alaska APEX. We can help connect you to those folks as well. And again, I promise I will get the slides out by Friday for sure. I'm going to check. This was a recorded event, and I apologize I didn't tell you that at the front. We're going to see if our recording quality, how it turned out, since I've not done that hybrid with this room. We'll have our tech person work on that. I'll send that to Anna to review and then decide if we want to post a recording after we kind of just check on the quality. And of course, we clean up all the crazy stuff at the front end too. But thank you everyone for attending. We're right at our 3:30 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close from the virtual component. Shayne, thank you again for taking time out to join us today. I really appreciate your time. And for those online, thanks again for joining us. Those slides will be going out probably Friday for sure. You'll get those at least by Friday afternoon, if not tomorrow. And then for those in the room, if you want to hang out and chat and network, you're welcome to. But just for the record, I'm going to go ahead and close out the virtual component. Thank you, everyone.